Hello, Internet. It's time to read the Bible. We're slowly catching up. It is March 2nd in the Bible, and we are still in Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 47 to chapter 27, verse 13. We return to evening or orations, I guess. I'm performing at night again. I do not wish to wake the other occupants. We will be doing a slightly more calm voice than, say, Tim Curry. If a foreigner living among you becomes rich, and an Israelite becomes poor and sells himself to the foreigner, or to the foreigner's family, he may be redeemed by one of his brothers, his uncle, nephew, or anyone else who is a near relative. He may also redeem himself if he can find the money. If the price of his freedom shall be in proportion to the number of years left before the year of Jubilee, whatever it would cost to hire a servant for that number of years. If there are still many years until Jubilee, he shall pay almost the amount he received when he sold himself. If the years have passed and only a few remain until the Jubilee, then he will only repay only a small part of the amount he received when he sold himself. If he sells himself to a foreigner, the foreigner must treat him as a hired servant rather than as a slave or as property. If he has not been redeemed by the time the year of the Jubilee arrives, then he and his children shall be freed at that time. For the people of Israel are my servants, and I brought them from the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. You must have no idols. You must never worship carved images, obelisks, or shaped stones, for I am the Lord your God. You must obey my Sabbath laws of rest, and reverence my tabernacle, for I am the Lord. If you obey all of my commandments, I will give you regular rains, and the land will yield bumper crops, and the trees will be loaded with fruit long after the normal time. And the grapes will still be ripening when your sowing time comes again. You shall eat your fill and live safely in the land, for I will give you peace. And you will go to sleep without fear. I will chase away the dangerous animals. You will chase your enemies. They will die beneath your swords. 5 of you will chase 100, and 100 of you 10,000. You will defeat all of your enemies. I will look after you and multiply you, and fulfill my covenant with you. You will have such a surplus of crops that you won't know what to do with them when the new harvest is ready. And I will live among you and not despise you. I will walk among you and be your God, and you shall be my people. For I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, so that you would be slaves no longer. I have broken your chains so that you can walk with dignity. But if you will not listen to me, or obey me, reject my law, this is what I will do to you. I will punish you with sudden terrors and panic, and with tuberculosis and burning fever. Your eyes shall be consumed, and your life shall ebb away. You will sow your crops in vain, for your enemies will eat them. I will set my face against you, and you will flee before your attackers. Those who hate you will rule you. You will even run when no one is chasing you. And if you still do not disobey me, I will punish you 7 times more severely for your sins. I will break your proud power and make your heavens as iron, and your earth as bronze. Your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield its crops, nor your trees fruit. And even though you will not obey me and listen to me, I will send you 7 times more plagues because of your sins. I will send wild animals to kill your children and destroy your cattle and reduce your numbers so that your roads will be deserted. And even this will not reform you, but you continue to walk against my wishes. Then I will walk against your wishes, and even I will personally smite you 7 times for your sin. I will revenge the breaking of my covenants by bringing war against you. You will flee to your cities, and I will send a plague among you there, and you will be conquered by your enemies. I will destroy your food supply, so that one oven will be large enough to bake all the bread available for 10 entire families, and you will still be hungry after your pittance has been doled out to you. And if you still won't listen to me or obey me, then I will let loose my great anger and send you 7 times greater punishment for your sins. You shall eat your own sons and daughters, and I will destroy the altars on the hills where you worship your idols. I will cut down your incense altars, leaving your dead bodies to rot among your idols, and I will abhor you. I will make your cities desolate and destroy your places of worship, and will not respond to your incense offerings. Yes, I will desolate your land. Your enemies shall live in it, utterly amazed at what I have done to you. I will scatter you out among the nations, destroying you with war as you go. Your land shall be desolate and your cities destroyed. Then at last the land will rest and make up for the many years you refused to let it lie idle. For it will lie desolate all the years that you are captive in your enemy lands. Yes, then the land will rest and enjoy its Sabbaths. It will make up for the rest you didn't give it every 7th year when you lived upon it. And for those who are left alive, I will cause them to be dragged away to distant lands as prisoners of war and slaves. There they will live in constant fear. The sound of a leaf driven in the wind will send them fleeing as though chased by a man with a sword. They shall fall when no one is pursuing them. Yes, though none pursue, they shall stumble over each other in flight, as though fleeing in battle, with no power to stand before their enemies. You shall perish among the nations and be destroyed among your enemies. Those left shall pine away in enemy lands because of their sins, the same sins as those of their fathers. But at last they shall confess their sins and their fathers' sins of treachery against me. Because they were against me, I was against them, and brought them into the land of their enemies. When at last their evil hearts are humbled, and they accept the punishment I send for them, then I shall remember again my promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will remember the land and its desolation, for the land shall enjoy its Sabbaths as it lies desolate. But then at last they shall accept their punishment for rejecting my laws and for despising my rule. Despite all they have done, I will not utterly destroy them, and my covenant with them, for I am Jehovah their God. For their sakes, I will remember my promises to their ancestors to be their God, for I brought their forefathers out of Egypt as all the nations watched in wonder. I am Jehovah. These were the laws and ordinances as instructions Jehovah gave to the people of Israel through Moses on Mount Sinai. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell the people of Israel that when a person makes a special vow to give himself to the Lord, he shall give these payments instead. A man aged 20 to 60 shall pay $25. A woman from the age 20 to 60 shall pay $15. A boy from 5 to 20 shall pay $10. A girl $5. A boy 1 month to 5 years old shall have for him $2.50. A girl $1.50. A man over 60 shall pay $7.50. A woman $5. But if the person is too poor to pay this amount, he shall be brought to the priest, and the priest shall talk it over with him, and he shall pay as the priest shall decide." If it is an animal that is vowed to be given to the Lord as a sacrifice, it must be given. The vow may not be changed. The donor may neither change his mind about giving it to the Lord, nor substitute a good or bad for good. If he does, both the first and the second shall belong to the Lord. If the animal given to the Lord is not a kind that is permitted as a sacrifice, the owner shall bring it to the priest to value it, and he shall be told how much to pay instead. If the animal is a kind that may be offered as a sacrifice, but the man wants to redeem it, then he shall pay 20% more than the value set by the priest. That was kind of a lot there in the middle. I forget how. Obviously, I remember from that Israel repeatedly falls away and is punished and is redeemed and comes back, and so and this cycle is like there's like 4 or 5 cycles of this in the Bible. I forget how clearly the Lord spells out how thoroughly He's going to punish them when, not if, when they turn away from Him. I'm just saying they've been kicked out of a lot of countries. That might be part of it. I'm sorry. I'm very pro Hebrew, pro Israel, but they mess up a lot in this book, and I see in everyday life that they've made some enemies. So I'm not as loyal to them as some, but I want them. I want them to succeed. I want them to repent. I want them to turn to the Messiah. Become Messianic Jews as opposed to the old kind of. But that's neither here nor there. So moving on to Mark. And we'll just stick with this voice. I'm gonna try to do 3 of these in a row. So let's just keep the consistency going. Now they were on the way to Jerusalem, and Jesus was walking along ahead. And as the disciples were following, they were filled with terror and dread. Taking them aside, Jesus once more began describing all that was going to happen to them when they arrived at Jerusalem. When we get there, he told them, I, the Messiah, will be arrested and taken before the chief priests and the Jewish leaders, who will sentence me to die and hand me over to the Romans to be killed. They will mock me, and spit on me, and flog me with their whips, and kill me. But after 3 days, I will come back to life again. Then James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came over and spoke to him in a low voice. Master, they said, we want you to do us a favor. What is it? He asked. We want to sit on thrones next to yours in your kingdom, they said. One at your right and the other at your left. Jesus answered, You don't know what you are asking. Are you able to drink from the bitter cup of sorrow I must drink from? Or to be baptized with the baptism of suffering I must be baptized? Oh, yes, they said, we are. And Jesus said, You shall indeed drink from my cup and be baptized with my baptism. But I do not have the right to place you on the thrones next to mine. Those are appointments that have already been made. When the other disciples discovered what James and John had asked, they were very indignant. So Jesus called to them, and he said, As you know, the kings and great men of the earth lord it over people. But among you, it is different. Whoever wants to be great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be the greatest of all must be the slave of all. For even I, the Messiah, am not here to be served, but to help others, and to give my life as ransom for many. And so they reached Jericho. Later, as they left town, a great crowd was following. And now it happened that a blind beggar named Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, was sitting beside the road as Jesus was going by. When Bartimaeus heard that Jesus from Nazareth was near, he began to shout out, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. Shut up, some of the people yelled at him. But he only shouted louder again and again, "O Son of David, have mercy on me." When Jesus heard him, he stopped there in the road and said, "Tell him to come here." So they called the blind man. "You lucky fellow," they said. "Come on, he's calling you." Bartimaeus yanked off his old coat and flung it aside, jumped up, and came to Jesus. "What do you want me to do for you?" Jesus said. "Oh, teacher," the blind man said, "I want to see." And Jesus said to him, "All right, it is done. Your faith has healed you." Instantly the blind man could see and followed Jesus down the road. "You are the fairest of all. Your words are filled with grace. God himself is blessing you forever. Arm yourself, O mighty one, oh, so glorious, so majestic. And in your majesty go on to victory, defending truth, humility, and justice. Go forth to awe-inspiring deeds. Your arrows are sharp in your enemies' hearts. They fall before you. Your throne, O God, endures forever. Justice is your royal scepter. You love what is good and hate what is wrong. Therefore God, your God, has given you more gladness than anyone. Your robes are perfumed with myrrh, aloes, and cassia. In your palaces of inlaid ivory, lovely music is being played for your enjoyment. Kings' daughters are among your concubines. There was an apostrophe there. I thought that was important. It's not kings and daughters, it's king's daughters. Let me read that again. King's daughters are among your concubines. Standing beside you is the queen, wearing jewelry of finest gold from Ophir. I advise you, O daughter, not to fret about your parents in your homeland far away. Your royal husband delights in your beauty. Reverence him, for he is your lord. The people of Tyre, the richest people of our day, will shower you with gifts and treat you with favors. Oh, I wondered why there was a sudden shift. We switched into Psalms, and usually it kind of goes crosswise, but for whatever reason I didn't notice because there was just a teeny tiny bit before the Proverbs jump. So that long poem was not the blind man talking. That was, I guess, David or whoever was writing this song. Probably David or Solomon. Probably David. So I'm not going to read that whole thing again. But from "You Are the Fairest of All," that was where the psalm, it was Psalms. So blind man followed Jesus down the road. My heart is overflowing with beautiful thought. I will write a lovely poem to the king, for I am as full of words as the speediest writing pouring out his story. Then the long poem. Up until where I was, which is lovely is she, led beside her maids of honor to the king. What a loyal, glad procession as they enter in the palace gates. Your sons will someday be kings like the father. They shall sit on thrones around the world. I will cause your name to be honored in all generations. The nations of the earth will praise you forever. Finally, Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22. The Lord's blessing is our greatest will. All our work adds nothing to it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this session. And as always, God bless.